Hey guys, it's Cara. It's a beautiful sunny day here in April, so I thought I'd film a garden tour for you guys today. The garden is filled with lots of pretty bulbs right now that I want to show you guys, and also a lot of the perennial things are starting to pop back up for the year, so it's fun to get a before shot and then another video later on in the season just to see how everything grows throughout the season. These tulips have been really beautiful. This is kind of the second flush of them that's come. These are the white and the dark purple, almost black tulips. I have some tulips back here and some tulips on the front side of the house. I'll show you those when we walk around that way. But this particular spot gets full sun, and the same tulips that I have on the front side of the house that are blooming currently have already bloomed and died in this section, which is kind of interesting, but it makes sense. This side gets a little more sun. This is the south side of the house. And as we walk through here, I'll show you guys up close clips of each of the items as well. I also have a yellow Sunnyside knockout rose that is leafing out here. You can see there's also quite a lot of new growth going on. We planted that rose together. I got it on clearance at the end of the year last year from Lowe's, and I'm really pleased with how it's leafing out right now. I haven't seen it bloom yet. This will be the first spring season that I've had this rose, so we'll see what the blooms look like in person later on in the season. Also down here in the corner, I have some cats, pajamas, nepeta that is just starting to pop up. All along the edge of this bed here, I have blue and white hyacinths planted. Those have already flowered and died back for the year. I did film several different clips of them that I'll insert here for you guys because they're just too beautiful not to share. I love the way the hyacinths smell, and I love to sit on our front porch, and it was really nice just to be able to sit there and constantly smell them. And even when we were playing in the sandbox or over at the playground with the kids, you could smell the breeze bringing the scent in as well, which was really nice. These three big bushes that you see here are my limelight hydrangeas. Those have all started to leaf out as well for the season. And there's a bunch of daffodils in here as well that have already bloomed and died back. I've cut the spent flower heads off. There are just a couple hanging on there that have a few little flowers on them, but for the most part, the leaves are already starting to turn brown. Now, as you can see, I must have goofed when I planted these hyacinths because I left a big gap right there. The big gap that I left right there was probably just my error. I had planted the blue and white hyacinths that are on this side and around the corner when we very first moved into the house a year and a half ago, and then the rest of the blue and white hyacinths I continued along the bed I planted this past fall. So it's probably just my estimation of where I ended those bulbs to where I started the new ones. So that's one of the reasons I am documenting my gardening journeys, is so that I have proof for this fall when I need to fill in that gap as to where exactly I need to plant them. So for my own personal note, so from that electrical box over to about where the propane gas shut off is where I need to plant more hyacinths. I have some irises here starting, and this is a Nepeta Walker. It will flush with beautiful purple flowers and it smells really nice, and that is the junior version. I accidentally bought 2 big ones and 1 small one. I meant to buy all 3 the same, but it works out. I had cut this back completely, and as you can see, it's already put on a pretty good, decent amount of size. Coming around the corner, the grass is just starting to pop up and fill in. We seeded the yard last year, so hopefully the grass will actually do well this year. We'll see though. Around this corner, these are some perennial sweet peas, and I have a couple different bulbs growing all throughout. This is the blue hydrangea I got at Costco. It has a little bit of green new growth at the bottom there. This is one of the Globe Master alliums. I'm excited to see that bloom. And these sweet peas never did die back at the end of the year, so that was nice. I had planted a bunch of Dusty Miller here in the front of this particular bed, and Dusty Miller for me has always just been an annual and has died back and has never come back for me. However, this year I noticed a little bit of green new growth at the very bottom, so I just cut it back like a perennial, and is actually started to leaf out again, which I'm really excited about, because typically they say Dusty Miller is about a zone 8 and we're in zone 7 here, so hopefully it'll come back year after year, but maybe we just got lucky with a milder winter this winter. I'm not sure. And that's the Dusty Miller there, and there's a couple other little ones popping up, and you can see I have a few volunteer sunflowers and zinnias that are being pretty vigorous around there. Back here in this corner, one of my favorite things is this Brunera. This is a pretty shaded corner here in the back, and this Brunera, the little blue flowers almost glow in the dark, it seems, at night. We like to sit out here on these porch swings, and it really just kind of seems like they're lit up or something. I don't know, I really like it. I had purchased a couple different perennial things from Costco last year. I did a Costco haul video if you want to see that. And one of the things I planted was bleeding hearts. And the bleeding hearts never came up last year for me, but this year they did. So I have a couple bleeding hearts that have popped up. No, I still don't think all of the ones I planted came up, but 2 did. And in this corner here, something else that's new is I have a few other little hydrangeas that are growing as well. And this is the Incredible hydrangea that is leafing out. These 2 white drift roses have really taken off and are getting quite large already. I also have some other little bulbs scattered throughout. And then these tulips I think are just beautiful. These tulips here are a blend of the ones that I purchased from Costco, as well as the ones that I've purchased from Color Blends. This particular area is full sun most of the time in this little corner, but it does get a little bit more shade than where the other tulips are. I'm really loving the color combination of these tulips. I think they're beautiful and they make me happy. And right behind the tulips, I have a bunch of fritilarria bulbs, which is a new plant for me. I got those at Costco last year, and I think they're really cute with the little purple bell-shaped flowers on them. It's very unique, and you don't typically see something that particular shape. The Russian sage in between the 2 are also starting to leaf out as well. These tulips are all different colors. We have some white, dark purple, as well as some that are purple and white striped. Let me show you some up-close shots of these tulips. In front of these sprinter boxwoods, I planted hostas, lily of the valley, ferns, and a stilby, most of which I purchased from Costco. And a couple of them are starting to pop up. However, not all of them have yet. Jury's still out on whether or not they will. You can see a few little clumps here and there of the perennial items that are coming out. And Scotty's hanging out on the porch. And yes, I still have my Christmas wreaths hanging up. They'll come down eventually though, I promise. This side of the porch is just a mirror image of the other side. And then around this corner, we have our roses. The roses are all leafed out and looking well, except for one. I transplanted one rose from my mom's house that she didn't want anymore, and I don't think it made it. I transplanted it in the middle of summer. I think it was around the 4th of July or something. And it sat in the back of a hot pickup truck in a black trash bag, which was not ideal. So I don't see any new green growth on this one at all. So I'm probably just gonna rip it up. I'm gonna give it a few more weeks though, just to see if it decides to have some extra ambition and leaf out for me. This is the one I'm talking about. I think it's pretty much a goner, because if you see, all the other ones are green and looking beautiful. And my Eden climbing rose is starting to arc over the fence as well. We added some compost and made this a bed, and we laid it with the black tarp to hopefully kill off any weeds left over in there. The black tarp here kind of does two things. It'll hopefully kill off any weeds and also just kind of prevent the compost from all washing away before we have a chance to mulch on top of it. That is one job for the spring, if we get around to it, is to hopefully mulch all of our beds as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye y'all.